Oh,
Estaba con nosotros
¿Lo dice?
y no, nosotros nos acusamos.
She's no thanks. She doesn't catch, try it's not that easy. She, different skills.
Good morning. I'm Lieutenant Ray Spencer. I'm the homicide lieutenant with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. Thank you for coming out here this morning for this very important press conference. But before I begin, I do want to thank several agencies that have been a tremendous help for us over the last 6 days. Specifically, the Clark County School District Police Department, the FBI, the Nye County Sheriff's Office, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, the Homeland Security Investigations, the U.S. Border Patrol, the Clark County Family Services, and also the Henderson Police Department. The point of this conference today is we wanted to make sure we got the most up-to-date information to the public to help us identify the child who was murdered and left in Mountain Springs on Friday morning. Through the last several days, we've been working with the National Center in an effort to update the photograph to truly depict the weight of the victim. This is an updated, digitally enhanced photograph that captures the gap in the child's teeth. We feel it captures his weight because, again, he is 4'11", 123 pounds. We believe the age is going to be 8 to 10 years of age. So again, this is the newest photographs that have been provided. Please share those photographs. Any tip, regardless of how small, we are following up on in an effort to identify who he is. With that, I do want to turn it over. We have a very important announcement that the FBI is here to share with you today, and I'll turn it over to them at this point.
Sir. Good morning. The FBI works with our law enforcement partners and private sector partners on a daily basis, and this case is going to be no different. We're currently offering an award of up to $10,000 for information leading to the identification of John Little Zion Doe or information leading to the identification of the subject or person of interest related to his death. This child has a right to be referred to by his given name. He's someone's son, someone's grandson, and he deserves law enforcement's commitment to solving this case. Children are our most vulnerable population, and we're dedicated to assisting the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department in anything they need and to help with this investigation. We're counting on the public to help us with his identification, and no lead is too small. With regards to any information that we can get, we're asking that the public contact 1-800-CALL-FBI, or we'll also accept online tips through tips.fbi.gov. And we will not stop or rest until the identity of him is determined or until his subject is captured. Thank you.
Again, we're very, very thankful for the assistance from the FBI and the reward money that is available. So again, with that, I will take a couple questions if you have them. We'll start here in the front.
I know the FBI and Metro work together all the time, but how rare is it for the FBI to help in a homicide investigation, and what type of resources do they bring in?
Well, we work very closely with the FBI on a daily basis. I don't think you're going to find a much better partnership between local and federal law enforcement anywhere in the country as we do here in this valley working with the FBI. So it does, regardless, be it homicide, be it various task forces throughout the agency, again, on a daily basis, we work with them. The assistance that they've stepped forward on this case is, we're extremely grateful, just because we want to do anything that we can so we can identify who he is. So, go ahead. Yes.
Can you say about how many tips you guys have received? Is it in the hundreds or thousands?
It's several hundred tips that we have received, and those tips that we are receiving, we're going line by line as we get them to rule them out. And again, I mentioned a lot of those tips we're getting are from across the United States, some other high-profile missing children, which we've been able to rule out. So we're still trying to keep our focus in the Nye and Clark County and the Southern California area, the bordering communities that border Clark County. Yes?
Can you talk about all the agencies that you're working with at this point?
I highlighted those right in the beginning of the, I'm not going to go specifically line by line, but we have worked with the agencies that I've identified in the beginning of this press conference, and I'm sure I've left out some that are providing assistance to us. And, just to go back to the first question, the FBI, again, they've provided any resource and any assistance that they can provide. They've made that service available to us as well. So, again, we're getting an extraordinary amount of help from our state and local and federal partners. Yes?
Regarding the collaboration with the FBI, how rare is it for the FBI to get involved, especially when it comes to the identification of the missing child? Has this ever happened here in Clark County?
I can speak for the last several years that I've been the homicide lieutenant. This is the first time that they've assisted in a situation with identifying a victim. However, we work with them literally every day on the criminal apprehension aspect of all of our suspects as part of a local task force that we work with the FBI on, that on a day-to-day basis captures homicide suspects. In the back.
How many families have you cold called regarding this child that's gone?
I don't want to say cold called. We are literally identifying any potential leads regarding who the deceased is. We are going door to door, looking to make sure that on every one of those tips that the children that someone has called in, we are verifying that their well-being. So I can tell you that is several hundred that we have done so far. Yes.
Lieutenant Spencer, how rare is it that you guys, as any police investigating agency, can't identify a child like this? I'm not saying you guys can't do it, but what's going on? How bizarre is this?
Well, it's hard for us in the sense that we cannot identify them, and that's why we're pleading on your assistance from the media and the public's assistance, because we're not going to be able to do it without the public and someone calling in and giving us a tip. And that's why this $10,000 reward that you can call anonymously, if you call Crime Stoppers anonymously, that reward money is available. So hopefully that tip will lead to us identifying the victim. So that's where we're keeping our focus at this point.
And you identify the victim, what comes next?
Well, then we can begin the full investigation. I think once we identify the victim, our investigation will move much more rapidly. Yes?
When it comes to the collaboration with the FBI, are they just providing the reward money, or are they also providing the logistics and trying to figure out who this kid is as well?
Well, the FBI has made any resource that they have available that will assist us in this case available to us. And, there's a lot of resources, obviously, that the FBI has, and we are in collaboration to go over every one of those potential leads and potential things that they can assist us with, and that is ongoing. Go ahead.
Are you ready to disclose how he died? I know you've been keeping that in wraps.
Yeah, I'm still keeping that very close, not giving that information out just for investigative needs.
He was killed by somebody, right?
Yes, this is a homicide investigation.
Have
Caitlin?
you had any luck finding video in Mountain Springs? I know it was a really remote area he was found in.
We have pulled a lot of video in this case, and that's still ongoing. But again, we're still in a situation where we're still trying to identify him. So until we have an idea what we're looking for, we're in the preservation mode at this point. In the back.
Lieutenant, what is your message or FBI's message to the people who did this or person who did this?
Well, my message is, you know, as a police agency and for this community, I want them to know that we are doing absolutely everything, and I'm confident that we are going to find the person who was responsible for committing this horrible act and leaving him out in Mountain Springs. I can tell you the resources and the effort that, as a police agency, that we are putting into this, again, that I'm confident that we will eventually get to the suspect. Go ahead.
Even though we don't, you know, but we can't release the manner of death yet, any idea how this boy ended up in Mountain Springs?
I'm not going to get, I mean, obviously we know he was brought there. I'm not going to get any specific as far as, you know, and I don't even know if we know that truly at this point, you know, what led up to him getting up there. Last question.
Yeah, that where he was left, how important is it to maybe identify people who were in that area at a certain time frame? Is that something you're also looking at?
So we urge anyone who is traveling over State Route 160 between midnight on late Thursday, Friday morning and 7 a.m. on Friday morning. Anyone who is driving over that road noticed anything unusual, a car pulled over on the side of the road, a car pulling into an area that just kind of stuck out. We want you to contact contact Metro, contact the FBI, any information that, regardless of how small, we will follow up on that, and that could be the tip that leads to the break in this case. So again, thank you very much, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Already in his phone out yet? I think the FBI.
Llegar a una conclusión debido a que el menor no ha podido ser identificado. Uno de los datos nuevos en el que se mueve la policía es que hay una recompensa de $10,000 para quien pueda ayudar a dar cualquier información que dé con el paradero de este pequeño. Voy a dejar un poco porque los colegas del canal de seguridad están tomando video precisamente de lo que ustedes ven en pantalla. También se ve una actualización de la fotografía de la víctima. La policía nos ha pedido proveer más detalles respecto a cómo el pequeño murió, pues en este momento están centrando todos sus esfuerzos en tratar de identificar a este menor de edad. Lo que sabemos es que apareció en una zona de montaña que se encuentra muy cerca de la ciudad de Las Vegas, y que la descripción de este menor no coincide con ninguna la descripción de menores desaparecidos, al menos en el estado de Nevada. También han recibido, la policía explicaron datos más concretos respecto a lo que es posibles menores desaparecidos que hay en otros estados, pero han verificado con autoridades de otros estados y hasta este momento no han tenido éxito. Si usted reconoce a esta persona, por favor comuníquese con las autoridades. Esto es muy importante para poder finalmente avanzar en este caso de homicidio que investiga la Policía Metropolitana de la ciudad de Las Vegas.
So all this is going to be going on in press release?
Yes, I was pushing it out.
You go to the other one?
Are you guys okay if I unplug everybody?
I'm good.
I'm good.
All right.